Hey everybody, it's Tony Cadaspati from GreatVocalMajority.com, and today is what is today? Today's October 8th. It's Saturday, and what I want to talk about is the October surprise that we experienced yesterday and going into today. But it's weird because it's an October surprise that affects both Clinton and Trump, but it's not a surprise. I don't understand why everybody's losing their minds over this. One of the things that came out was there was a tape that surfaced that Donald Trump made, very lewd remarks about women that has sent people into a tailspin. It is unbelievable. Now, does anybody remember who Donald Trump is, or are we like got an image of this guy in our minds that has nothing to do with the man that has been nominated by the Republicans? And I'm kind of sick and tired of the Republicans who just, they're like they got one step out the door. They're just waiting for Trump to say something before they go like they've got no guts. But here's the thing that I was really wondering about when it comes to Trump and what he said. And I'm going to address this first to the men out there who might be watching this. Have you ever talked like that about women? Ever in your life? I don't care if, like, from when you were 15 or if you're 85 now. Have you ever talked about women like that? If you tell me no, I'm calling you a liar. And I grew up in the Bronx in New York City, and I didn't know any guy who at some point, and usually in your adolescence, didn't refer to women in those terms. Now, it's not right. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just trying to say that this is not unusual talk coming out of men when they're among other men. It doesn't, sometimes they, grow up and they stop talking like that, and maybe when they're college age or maybe later. And some guys never grow out of it. But we knew Trump. We knew the kind of guy we were getting with Trump. We've known about Trump for 30 odd years. We knew he was a playboy in New York, and we knew that he ran around. We knew the type of guy he was. Is this really surprising? That's why I'm saying it's an October surprise. Duh. What's the surprise? But what I'm seeing here right now is like this media cabal where they just want to rip this guy. They want to tear his face off. And I quite honestly don't understand that. I'm looking on the other side and I'm looking over at Hillary and I'm saying, do they really want her? This woman. Now, what came out about Hillary? Well, what came out about Hillary were a few things. Some WikiLeaks released some emails that indicated a couple of things that I think are important. Is it important? Let me backtrack just a little bit. Is it important that Trump said these things 12 years ago about women? Yeah, it is. And he shouldn't have said them. And he was wrong to say them. And he has apologized. I think we're up to 2 apologies already from him. So he has apologized, but it was 12 years ago. And we have not seen any evidence that he's talked like this any more recently than 12 years ago. Okay, so that's Trump. And quite honestly, how does that affect how Trump has actually treated women, especially professionally? Has he mistreated women professionally? I don't know if there's any evidence of that. Haven't seen any of his former employees come forward. I haven't seen any of I didn't see either of his ex-wives come forward, and I haven't seen his current wife or any woman who claims to have been a mistress. And I haven't seen anything like that coming from Trump, from the Trump area, from the Trump side. But, we still have almost 4 weeks to the election, so there's still plenty of time. But I want you to keep that in mind. And also, how much does this actually affect you? We have an election coming up. There's a lot of big problems. We got serious illegal immigration problem. We got serious economic issues. We got serious employment issues. Got serious trade issues. We got serious law and order issues. We got a lot of issues. How does this affect any of that? I don't see it. I don't really see it. Maybe somebody out there can explain to me. Maybe I'm missing it. Okay, now what about what came out about Hillary Clinton? Quite frankly, I think that what the information that came out about Hillary Clinton through WikiLeaks is a lot more relevant to the election. What was what was the biggest takeaway from what came out about WikiLeaks? Hillary Clinton actually said, and this is part of the reason why she never wanted to release the transcripts. She actually said to one of those audiences that paid her hundreds of thousands of dollars just to hear her talk. Can you imagine, by the way, could you imagine paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to hear her? Okay, what did she say? She said, well, what I say something in public, that's not necessarily what I really believe. What I really believe is what I'm telling you guys in private. Now, isn't that like saying to the American people, you can't believe a word I'm saying? And that's really what it is, isn't it? Now, Donald Trump is being asked to quit the presidential race, if you can believe it, for something he said 12 years ago. Hillary Clinton just admitted she lies publicly and tells the truth privately, but nobody's asking her to quit? What's that about? And then that's not the only thing she said. She said she's for open borders when she has denied being for open borders in public, which kind of goes along with what I just told you about her, what she says privately and what she says publicly. And she also said she's for the free trade agreements that are very controversial and unpopular with people, whereas publicly she said she's against them. And again, here we go again. She's lied about that too, but nobody's asking for her to quit. No, we want to bum rush her right into the White House. And then what's the other thing that they said about Hillary Clinton? That, there's the open borders, and then there's, and then there's, she's whatever she says publicly and privately, and then there's the open, the free trade rather. So it just makes you say to yourself, what I learned about Hillary Clinton over the last 24 hours isn't new either. I mean, we always suspected that she really was for open borders. We always suspected she was for the free trade agreements. We always suspected that she lied publicly and told the truth privately. But now we know she does that. We know it. But no one's asking her to quit. They're only asking Trump to quit over something he said 12 years ago that disparaged women. Now, one last thing I want to say about this, disparaging women. Donald Trump said things that disparaged women. We have not seen any women come forward yet who say they've actually been abused by Donald Trump, except for that Venezuelan Miss Universe, who we found out threatens judges with death, and she's married. He has a baby from a drug lord, and she drove a getaway car in a murder. But other than that, she's as pure as the driven snow. That's the only person we know so far. Yet, with Hillary Clinton, this great defender of women, we do know that when Bill Clinton was accused of serial sexual abuse and harassment, even rape, she was Johnny on the spot defending him. That's not disqualifying. No one even wants to talk about that. Why not? Why aren't the Republicans picking up on that? Why are the Republicans anxious to jump ship so quickly? I mean, I understand the women vote, women are offended, and if you're a woman, I understand that you're offended by what Donald Trump said, and he did apologize. Whether you accept his apology or not is up to you. I personally believe if you think men don't talk like that, then you really don't know you're a man. You don't, because men everywhere in my life where I ever been. And I've been in places like the Bronx and not so nice areas of the Bronx to the executive offices of one of the largest corporations and most prestigious corporations in America. And I've been around very wealthy and classy people, and believe me, they every man I ever met at some point or another has talked about women the way Donald Trump talked about women that way. Men do that. They do tend to grow out of it because it's juvenile. But all I'm saying is, and I want the message here to be that what we learned about Hillary Clinton actually affects your lives, actually affects everyone's life. We can't have a president who thinks that she can lie to the American people and not ever have to tell them the truth. And will also go to war against any woman who accuses her husband of of sexual abuse, especially when he's already been found guilty of doing it in the Paula Jones case, and or should I say, in the most technical sense, not actually found guilty, but he did settle the case, though, didn't he? Um, and he did get disbarred for at least 5 years, I think it was, for lying under oath in the Monica Lewinsky thing. So we know what kind of a man he is, and we know what kind of a woman Hillary is because she defended that kind of a man. So let's not kid ourselves here, folks. Hillary Clinton is not suited for the office of president. Whether or not you think her health is an issue, that's another thing. But just ethically, she is not. Look at what she's done. That's all I have for today on Great Vocal Majority's video cast, I'll call this. I don't know. Anyway, take care, but keep in mind that the media is just trying to clear the field for Hillary Clinton right now. They're going all out. And Donald Trump's got to be strong. He's got to stand up there and say, "No, you're not going to push me out." I mean, because that's virtually going to be handing the election over. I think that if something like that happened, I may not vote. I wouldn't vote. And I'm not a big Trump supporter. I really was for Ted Cruz, but Hillary Clinton is a criminal. She is an actual criminal. When they left the White House in 2000, they stole furniture. Remember how Hillary Clinton said we were dead broke when we left the White House? Remember when she said that? Well, she must have really thought she was dead broke because they stole furniture. I don't know if you people understand. The White House is like a historical antique museum. Everything in the White House is registered and recorded as a historical artifact. And the Clintons just started grabbing crap on the way out the door. They had to be forced to bring back. They're kleptocrats. We can't have people like this. She is not Bill Clinton. She is not going to have policies like her husband did that were, where he worked with the Republicans. She is a scorched earth politician. She is an Alinskyite. She's worse than Obama. We can't have that. That's it for me. I'm quitting now for sure. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.